All right, so we are back in session on our non-jury trial docket. We've got some more phone calls to make, starting with David Brantz, 20 CT 2431. We continued, no, right? Alex Ruiz?
Yeah, we set it on the status.
Okay, thank you. And this is Mr. Brantz.
He was the one I thought was in custody.
Oh, okay. Try that again. Hello, is this Mr. Brantz?
Yeah.
Mr. Brantz, Judge Crown calling from the courtroom on your case 20 CT 2431. You've got 2 charges, driving on a suspended license and failure to change address. Have you fixed those issues?
Yes, I have a valid driver's license now.
Oh, great. And how about your address? I assume you changed it at the time you got the new license.
Yeah, I changed that to get new registration for my vehicle.
Okay. Ms. Creamy, what does that mean for you?
Well, Judge, he also has another open, driving with a suspended license and resisting without violence. Those cases are set on Thursday for arraignment.
With me, are they my cases?
Well, they will be. We asked to reassign them at arraignment.
Okay.
Based on that, I'm not inclined to drop these. So if I have amended offers I can relay right now.
Okay, go ahead.
So on the case set today, 20 CT 2431, we would amend the charge to no valid. The offer would be adjudication and all costs. For the count 1, for count 2, since he fixed his address, we would drop count 2. For 21 CT 275, it's another driving with a suspended license. We would amend that to a no valid. It would be adjudication, $100 fine, and court costs. And on 21 MM 193, he's charged with resisting without violence. The offer is adjudication, $200 fine, and all costs.
Now, those last 2 cases are still set for arraignment this Thursday?
Correct, Judge.
Mr. Brantz, do you have a lawyer in those other 2 cases?
I do not.
All right, so you're aware that you've got several different cases pending, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the offer, and the only one we're really discussing today is 20 CT 2431. That's the DWLSR and the failure to change your address. And the offer, again, that the prosecutor just conveyed to you on count 1, she would change that to no valid DL, and the offer is an adjudication of guilt plus costs, which is $270, and you would have 90 days to pay, and she would drop count 2 because you fixed that. Do you understand that offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to accept that offer?
Yes, officer.
We can't do it today on the phone. I have to give you a court date, and I'll give you some options, and then you can pick, okay? It can be March 1st, March 3rd, March 8th, or March 10th.
I'll go March 10th.
March 10th is Wednesday, and it'll be at 10 o'clock in the morning, and your appearance is required. So that is not on the telephone. You have to come into the courthouse, okay?
Okay.
All right, so 20 CT 2431 is set on the plea docket March 10th, 10 o'clock. Thank you, Mr. Brant. I'll see you then.
All right, thank you, Your
Honor. Bye-bye.
And we'll see him Thursday, too.
And Thursday. And are you handling that?
I am. I'm going to put notes in the file, too.
Yeah, maybe it can go to that 310 date just to see what happens. Okay, that was Mr. Brant. Next is Jennifer Quintero. Case number 20 CT 2610.
for 2392.
I'll try her a little bit later. Okay, so I'm out of paperwork that Andrea gave me, but she's been texting me updates as pro se folks call the office. So we're not done yet with phone calls. Let's see. Antonio McFarland, 21 CT 36, calling him next.
TextNow subscriber you are trying to reach is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
All right, we'll try Mr. McFarland later. How about Mercedes Urbina, 20 CT 2123, Mercedes Urbina.
Hello?
Hello, is this Miss Urbina?
Yes, hello.
Hello, this is Judge Crown calling from the courtroom. Your charge is driving without a valid driver's license. Miss Urbina, do you have a valid license now?
I don't have one. I only took the first two tests. I actually been trying to come up with the money I just got a job recently. I'm getting ready to go to work right now, but once I get the money, probably by Friday, I can pay for the rest of the test because I actually have to pay back people that let me borrow for the two tests.
All right, so do you want to continue this case so that you have more time to do that?
Yeah, if that's possible, yes, please.
Okay, Miss Creamy, do you have any objection to a continuance?
Your Honor.
All right, Miss Urbina, your next court date is March 29th at 9 o'clock, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Next is Paul Colinda, 20 CT 2214.
Hello.
Hello, is this Mr. Colinda?
This is Mr. Kokinda. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I am fine, thank you. How are you?
Hanging in there.
All right, I'm calling from the courtroom on case number 20 CT 2214. We have the prosecutor on the phone as well. The charge here is leaving the scene of a crash. I'm going to start with the prosecutor. Ms. Creamy, can you give us the offer, please?
Yes, Judge, it's an adjudication of guilt, 6 months of probation with no early termination, 6-hour driver improvement course, 25 hours of community service, no contact with the victim, no trespass at their address, restitution in the amount of $1,081.17 and all costs.
So,
I don't mind the restitution. I was in a golf cart. I didn't even know I hit the mailbox.
hold on a second,
There was
hold on a
no
second,
malicious
hold on a
intent.
second,
I have no
hold
history
on,
with
hold
this
on,
man.
hold on. I don't want you to talk. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can, sir.
Okay, hold on a second now. I'm not ready for you yet. Miss Creamy, you
Oh,
said
I'm
it's-
sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. I'll come back to you. Miss Creamy, I don't think there is such thing as a 6-hour driver improvement course. It's 4, 8, or 12.
Judge, then we would do 4.
So it's the basic driver improvement course, 4 hours. Now, Mr. Kokinda, I don't want you to tell me about the facts of the case. Everything you say is being recorded and may be used
Okay.
against you later. So when you say things like, I was on the golf cart, I didn't know I hit her or whatever.
Okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay. All I need to know is, well, at this point, is whether you want to, well, you've got a few options. We can set this for a plea if you wanted to accept that offer, or we can set it for a trial if you want to go to trial.
Well, I probably would like to state my case, Your Honor, because I did not intend to do it. I didn't even know I did
Mr.
it.
Kokinda, please. I'm not done giving you your options.
Okay, sorry, Your Honor.
Let me finish your options, and then I will say, what do you want to do, okay? And then you tell
Okay,
me what
sorry,
you want
sorry.
to do. We can put it on a plea docket. We can put it on a trial docket, or we can continue this case if there's a good reason to do that. For example, if you plan to get a lawyer to help you.
That's what I'm.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm trying to do right now. I've actually talked to several, and they haven't worked out. And I'm planning on retaining a lawyer in the next few weeks, week and a half probably.
All right.
So because I'd like to just pursue it because I feel that
Okay, I don't need to know why. You're asking. You're
yes,
asking me for a continuance. Do you understand that by continuing the case, you are waiving your right to a speedy trial?
Yes, sir, I am. Yes, I do understand that.
Ms. Creamy, any objection to a continuance?
No, Judge.
All right, sir, your next court date is March 29th at 9 o'clock. Thank you, Mr. Kokinda.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too.
Okay, next is Elijah Burgess, 20 CT 1420. Hello, is this Mr. Burgess?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burgess, Judge Crown calling from the courtroom on your case with the charge of no valid driver's license. Do you have a valid license now?
No, sir. I'm still going through it with social.
With social, what does that mean?
Like, I need my social before I can get my driver's license.
You mean your social security number?
Yes, sir.
All right, so are you asking for a continuance so that you have more time to do that?
Yes, sir.
Any objection to a continuance?
Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Burgess, your next court date is March 29th at 9 o'clock, and we'll talk on the telephone just like this morning, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Burgess. Good luck to you.
Welcome.
All right, bye-bye. Next is Eduardo Diaz, 2 cases, 20 CT 2258, 20 CT 2304.
Minor.
Pardon me?
He's a minor.
We're sorry.
Eduardo Diaz is a minor?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to call the number he provided one more time and see if that works.
Sorry.
Number for Eduardo Diaz is not working. Andrea, can you text it to me again? Make sure that I'm dialing the right number. All right, in the meantime, let's try McFarland again. Antonio McFarland. This is 21 CT 36. No response. Ms. Creamy, what would you like to do with this case?
Judge, I'd like to put it on a status like we did with one of the other cases. He's clearly getting the notices. But maybe if we tell him he has to come to court, we can possibly resolve the case.
All right, Antonio McFarland, 21 CT 36 is set on the status docket March 8th at 10 o'clock. I'm going to try Eduardo Diaz one more time. Andrea did confirm the number I dialed is the number he provided. She called it as well and got the same message saying it's not working. But I'll try it again here in open court for the third time. All right, what would you like to do with Eduardo Diaz's two cases?
Same thing, Judge.
All right, this is the juvenile, right? All right, so we've got two cases with Eduardo Diaz, 20 CT 2258 and 20 CT 2304. Each case is set on the March 3rd docket, March 3rd at 10 o'clock.
The only hesitation with that, Judge, is it may not be enough time to receive mail notice.
All right, so we can put them on the March 10th docket then. Tommy, sorry about that. Do you need a minute to change to March 10th?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, thank you. All right, I just got another text with another number for Antonio McFarland. Ms. Creamy, can you give me that case number again for McFarland? Do you still have that?
Yes, it is 21 CT 36.
Thank you. We set this on 3/8.
Yes. Unless he wants to.
Yeah. Hello?
How can I assist you today?
Is Antonio McFarland there, please?
Yes, this is me.
This is Judge Crown calling from the courtroom, 21 CT 36. Mr. McFarland, you've got two charges, attaching a tag not assigned and failure to register a motor vehicle. I called the other phone number that you provided earlier, and I didn't get you. So what we did is we put you on a plea docket for March 8th at 10 o'clock. Do you want to leave it on that date? March 8th is a Monday, excuse me.
I wouldn't be able to get this situated today.
No, you cannot get...
I was at the cashier when you guys called me, and also this number here doesn't work at all. I thought it would be working, that's why I gave it to the woman in confidence. However, unfortunately, it doesn't work.
Okay, well, it's so...
With the March 8th date?
March 8th at 10 o'clock.
Would I be thinking that doing the Zoom call, or would it be a phone call?
Neither. That would be in person. You'd have to come in here to the courthouse.
Okay, and the couple is, would I be able to get some information about where the courthouse is located?
Yeah, where are you located?
I'm currently here in Naples. I'm at McDonald's right now.
Okay.
By 10 Miami Trail.
So you're very close. The courthouse is on the corner of Airport Road and 41.
Okay.
You know the government complex is?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to speak to the judge right now. I really can't. I just can't. I can't because I've already missed it because I've been trying to do this. Like I was gonna call out, but I don't want to call out a work.
Okay, well,
I prefer to just get this done.
We can't get it done today, so it's March 8th is when you can come in and then it'll get done. You can enter a plea and resolve your case then, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay. So I'm just going through, I want to make sure we don't miss anyone here, Miss Creamy. I'm going through my text messages to confirm I've called everyone who called Andrea. I know that Mr. Casito, he's on the 10 o'clock docket. McFarland, Mercedes, Diaz, Coquinda, Burgess. Yes. Okay, so that's everyone who has called her and she's texted. We do have a recall on Jennifer Quintero, 20 CT 2610.
Hello?
Hello, is this Jennifer Quintero?
Yes, sir, this is she.
Good morning. This is Judge Crown calling from the courtroom on your case, 20 CT 2610. The charge is driving on a suspended license. Do you have a valid license now?
No, sir. I was actually in the process of doing it, but I have something in Jersey that has to close up before I'm able to pay off that to fix my license. They did send me a letter saying that it's, they're basically that I'm not at fault for this, that I was trying to fix it, but I have to wait till April for my court date with them to be able to reinstate my license.
All right, April the what? April what? Do you know that date?
I can't tell you exactly, but I know it's, I believe April 21st.
Oh, it's late in April. Okay. All right.
They're changing laws and whatnot.
Okay. So you're asking for a continuance so that you have more time to get that done?
Yes, sir, but I also did have a question.
Go ahead.
I am a single mother of 4, and I was really just getting by driving with the suspended, so I wasn't sure if I was able to get like a working permit or something to be able to go to work.
That's not up to me. That's up to the Department of Highway Safety Motor Vehicles. You have to ask them.
Okay.
So you would ask them whether you're eligible for a hardship license. And I haven't done anything in this case to prevent that. So I'm not doing anything to prevent it, but I can't grant it either. That's up to them.
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay, so Ms. Creamy, do you have any objection to a continuance?
No, sir.
Judge, I don't. Maybe we want to go out.
I was thinking the same thing. Tommy, my guess is early May would be the next one.
It's May 3rd.
Okay, so Ms. Quintero, what we're going to do is give you a 2-cycle continuance because you've got that April date in New Jersey. So we'll go after that. So your next court date with me is May 3rd at 9 o'clock, okay?
Yes, sir.
And then hopefully you'll have an update for us at that time. Any other questions?
No, sir, that's all.
Okay, thank you and good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, that was Ms. Quintero. Checking text messages. I believe that's it for the 9 o'clock. Let's see, that's called. Yep. Okay, so we have 3 cases left on the 9 o'clock who have not contacted my office, beginning with Carlos Benuelo Boto, 20 CT 1661. I'm reviewing the file for notice. There is an order for telephonic appearance that was mailed to the defendant on January 25th for today's date, indicating his obligation to call my office 3 days before the court date to provide a phone number. He's not done that. So he was on notice and he's not here. Request from the state.
And I have noticed that we spoke to him last court date too.
So the what? I didn't even fade it out at the end.
The state would request a bench warrant.
All right, bench warrant, $2,000 bond. Next is Rigoberto Gomez Cruz, 20 CT 2224. I'm reviewing the file for notice. There is an order for telephonic appearance, which was mailed to the defendant January 25th for today's date, 9 o'clock, directing him to contact my office at least 3 days prior to the hearing. He's not done that. He's not in custody. I'm sorry, Rich. The previous one wasn't in custody either. Both of them also not in custody. Okay, so Gomez Cruz not in custody, was noticed. He's not here. Request from the state. Pardon me?
Bench warrant. I'm sorry, Judge.
Bench warrant, $2,000 bond. And last case on the 9 o'clock docket, Rodney Handy, 20 CT 1780. Handy is not in custody. I'm reviewing the file. There is an order for telephonic appearance mailed to the defendant and then January 25th to call my office 3 days prior to today to provide contact information. He's not done that. So Mr. Handy was also on notice and he's not here. Request from the state.
Judge, I forgot to ask, were any of these people turned away at the door?
No. Good question, and no one was turned away at the door.
I asked because my notes for this defendant last time was he was in court.
What date was that? That would have been 5 weeks ago, right?
Right? Yes. January 22nd.
Yeah, quarantine would have ended by now, and he was not turned away today.
The state would request a bench warrant.
Bench warrant, $2,000 bond. And that completes our 9 o'clock docket. Tommy, do you need some time to switch over to 10?
Just 1 second.
Yep.
Judge, there is no trial this afternoon. It's going to be a plea with Mr. For sure.
Okay, you guys have already been working on that.
Yes, and his client is in custody, and he told me that it would just be over Polycom.
Okay.
That's more for Rich's benefit because he asked me when you went to go get a new mask.
So this is Scott Williams is a plea,
Yes, and he's in custody.
and it's a plea today.
Yes.
And then maybe we should put that on the 215 docket and let 24s do it. That way we don't have to switch courtrooms because we have a pro se also at 1:30.
Yes, Judge, the pro se.
Sigler.
Yes, we did not send subpoenas. I think today was just the day for him to come with his license.
Okay, but so we're still expecting him. We need to be here in court.
Yes.
And so we're going to be in one courtroom, and then rather than switching to a Polycom courtroom, I'd rather schedule Williams on the 215 docket. And so, Tommy, I'm sorry, will you tell me when you're done wrapping up the 9 o'clock?
I'm ready.
So we're going to skip 10 and jump to 1:30.
Okay.
Scott Williams is 20 CT 1008. He's
Okay.
on our 1:30 docket. Can we move him to the 215 plea docket?
Okay.
In 3-4, please. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
And that still leaves us with Sigler, so we'll still be here for 1:30.
Okay.
And then Tommy, let me know when you're ready. We'll go to 10, but I'm not in a rush.
Okay, I'm ready for the 10 o'clock.
Okay, I'm going to start by calling Mr. Casito on Francisco Diaz, 20 CT 1842, 21 CT 99. Hello, is this Mr. Casito?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. This is Judge Crown calling in Naples. I've got 2 cases with Francisco Diaz, 20 CT 1842 and 21 CT 99.
Yes, Your Honor. We've been communicating with the Office of the Secretary Attorney, and we have an offer. I think that we might be able to help Mr. Diaz get a driver's license, but he needs some time. We will need some time to work on that. We're going to ask for a continuance with a waiver if possible, and if it's possible to get 2 cycles on this continuance.
Okay, so the request is the continuance in both with a waiver in both?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Karimi, the request is a 2-cycle continuance in both cases. Do you have any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so that is
May 3rd, Your Honor.
May 3rd. Thank you. All right, so your next court date for both cases would be May 3rd at 10 o'clock, also on the telephone, just like this morning, okay?
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. All right. I am up to date on Andrea's text messages with phone numbers. Okay, so now we'll just go down the docket, starting with Mr. Bazaz on Mikkel Lindsay, 20 CT 768. Followed by Lee Carney.
Good morning, this is Sal Bazaz.
Mr. Bazaz, Rob Crown here. How are you today?
Pretty good, Judge. How are you doing?
I am fine, thank you. We've got Ms. Karimi on the telephone for Mikkel Lindsay, 20 CT 768.
Yes, Judge. I wanted to set this for a plea. He's in custody. I see that you have some plea dates set in March.
Yes,
So
sir.
I didn't know if we could set it for March 8th. That's one of your criminal pleas.
Sure, it's fine with me if that's your preference.
Yes, please.
Ms. Creamy, any objection to 3-8?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Pizzazz, that's at 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock docket.
Yeah. Yeah, very good.
Okay, so Lindsay is set on that plea docket 3-8 at 10 o'clock.
And it's okay that he's in the jail. He'll be able to appear somehow.
Yes, they'll bring him on polycom.
Yeah, we may have to switch courtrooms, Mr. Pizzazz. Depends on if we get a Polycom capable courtroom to begin with. If not, then we'll switch courtrooms and take the plea at some point.
Okay, that's fine. I'll be there.
We just may have to switch, is all I'm saying.
That's fine.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pizzazz.
Thanks, Judge. Have a good day.
You too, thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, Mr. Carney on Alberto Gonzalez, 20 CT 1327. Good morning, Mr. Carney. Rob Crown calling. How are you today?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. We have Ms. Karimi for the state, Alberto Gonzalez.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Gonzalez is trying to get his license. He went to take the test, but he was not successful at the driving test, whatever level it was. I'm asking if the case could be reset. I'm trying to get his license so that we can get, a quick resolution for his case that he's in compliance and that the state would take that into account also. So I'm asking if the case can be reset.
All right, with the waiver.
With a waiver, yes, sir.
Ms. Karimi, do you have any objection to a continuance?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Alberto Gonzalez is continued to March 29th at 10 o'clock. Okay, thank you, Mr. Carney.
I believe that's all I have today. Thank you.
All right, have a good day. Bye-bye. All right, calling Mr. Day, followed by actually, ma'am, what is your name, please? Your last name? Ms. Creamy, we do have one lady in the courtroom. That's Maria Hernandez with Mrs. Maurer. I'm going to call your attorney in just a minute, okay? Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Day. And then we'll actually call Mrs. Maurer next.
Good morning, Donaldy's office.
Good morning. Is Mr. Day or Mr. Gorman there, please?
Yes, Judge Kraft?
Yes.
Yes, one moment, sir.
Okay, thank you.
The homicide in both state and federal court. You can count on the attorneys at the law office of Donald P. Day to be there when you need them most. Thank you for holding. We will be right with you. Your strongest defense starts with an experienced criminal attorney. Your strongest defense starts with the law office of Donald P. Day. Comprising of Naples' trusted attorneys Donald Day and Thomas Gorman, our team brings unrivaled experience and unwavering commitment to the table, delivering clear-cut Hello, Judge. It's Tom Gorman here.
Mr. Gorman, how are you?
Good. How you doing today?
I am fine, thank you. We have Ms. Karimi on the phone as well. Your client, Tyler Vidor.
Judge, that's Chief Karimi, that she goes by now.
Chief? Wait a second, why is that?
I just
Giving you a
noticed
hard
that
time
she's,
today.
her title is
Chief.
Assistant County Chief.
Chief.
So I'm going to start calling her Chief from now on.
I like that. That's got a nice ring to it. Okay.
I think it sounds pretty cool too.
And thank you for telling me that. So I'm sorry. We do have Chief Karimi on the line for the state.
Judge, we've received an offer from Ms. Karimi. We need to relay that to the client if we could continue it with the waiver of the next pretrial conference.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor. And Mr. Gorman, I just responded to your email.
Okay.
All right. So Vidor is continued to 3:29 at 10 o'clock. All
Very
right.
good.
Thank you, Mr. Gorman.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Chief Karimi. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
James also has chief in his title.
several cases. We'll start with Maria Hernandez, who is present.
Law office, can I help you?
Mrs. Maurer, good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm in court with Ms. Karimi for the state. You've got several cases on our docket. I'd like to start with one out of order because she's present, and that is Maria Hernandez, 20 CT 2404.
I received an offer for Ms. Hernandez just over, I think it came in on Friday, but I was not in the office. And my notes, I think it's something that Ms. Hernandez will probably accept, but she wanted a continuance for 2 to 3 months to see if she was eligible to get a driver's license first.
With a waiver?
With a waiver.
State, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Now, you said 2 to 3 months. Are you requesting a 2-cycle continuance?
That would be great because everything has to go through immigration and it just takes longer to get an answer.
So, because the 1 cycle is March 29th, the next one would be May 3rd.
Let's leave it for the end of March and just see what we know. That might be long enough.
All right, so Ms. Hernandez, your next court date is March 29th at 10 o'clock in the morning. But please understand, you have a private lawyer, Mrs. Maurer, and she's on the telephone with me right now. And on March 29th, she'll be on the telephone with me again. You do not need to come in today or at that time. I'm just going to call your attorney and speak with her, so you don't have to come here. Do you understand that? What you do need to do is make sure you stay in touch with Mrs. Maurer. Have you been doing that? Yes. Okay, so contact her again, and then I'll talk to her on March 29th, and she'll give me an update on how you're doing. Do you have any questions? No. Okay, Ms. Hernandez, thank you. You're free to go today. All right. All right, several others with Mrs. Maurer. Efren, Alamia, Aldana. Mrs. Maurer, do you want to say anything to Ms. Hernandez before she leaves?
No, just give our office a call and we'll explain what happened.
Mrs. Maurer says please call her office when you leave, and she'll explain exactly what just happened.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, Efren, Alamia, Aldana, 21 CT 28.
That will be a plea in absentia if I could just have a date to work on getting that turned in.
Do you want March 1, 3, 8, or 10?
Let's do 10.
All right.
She lives in Englewood, so that'll take me a little longer to get back.
Okay. Alameda Aldana set on the plea docket March 10th, 10 o'clock. It's a 10 o'clock docket, and that's for a plea in absentia. Okay, next with Mrs. Maurer is Medardo Ortiz Ochoa, 20 CT 1954.
He's working on getting a driver's license. Could I have the May date for him? I know this one will take a little longer.
With a waiver?
With a waiver.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ortiz Ochoa is continued to May 3rd at 10 o'clock. No, 10 o'clock, I'm sorry.
All right.
And the next one, Mrs. Maurer, Rigoberto Perez Maria, 20 CT 2614.
Can I put that on the March 10th docket for a plea in absentia?
Yes, Perez Maria scheduled March 10th for a plea in absentia. And I think that's it for you.
I do too.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Maurer.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, calling Mr. Fayette on Anna Moran Garcia, 20 CT 1917. Followed by Mr. Hidnert.
Good morning, Fayette Firm.
Good morning. Is Mr. Fayette there, please?
Yes, he is. One moment, please.
Thank you.
The criminal justice system can be bewildering and frightening. At the Fayette firm, we know that favorable results in a criminal case are obtained by legal skills and hard work. We'll work with you to look at all the options in the case and develop a strategy to get the best result possible in plea bargains, pre-trial motions, or trial. Whether misdemeanor or felonies, no case is too big or too...
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Fayette. How are you?
Very good.
Good. We've got Miss Creamy here for Anna Miran Garcia. Chief Creamy.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, my fault. Go ahead.
She's going to enter diversion. She lost her job. We have to come up with $230 to be able to sign up. We have an agreement. It's all there, but they just won't let us sign up without the $230. So I'm just asking for a short continuance to allow her to get that money together. And I anticipate you won't see this case again.
All right. With a waiver?
With a waiver.
Any objection? 3:29 at 10 o'clock.
Have a good day.
All right, you too, Mr. Fayette. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, calling Mr. Hidner, followed by Mr. McElrath. And this is 20 CT 2561. Ramos Morales. Try to get here.
Office, I can help you.
Hello, is Mr. Hidner there, please?
Right now, is it for the criminal traffic case?
No, it's for criminal, well, it is a criminal traffic case in Collier County, yes?
Okay, can I give you his cell phone?
Okay,
76
yep,
210 8321.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. This is Anthony Miller.
Hello, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a hold of Attorney Hidner.
Good morning to you, Judge. Yes, I'm standing in on his behalf. He's my partner.
Oh, okay, so Judge Crown, Collier County, our prosecutor is Miss Karimi, and your client is Yuratsi Ramos Morales.
Yes, thank you, Judge. And I've been in contact with my client, and I haven't had a chance to reach out to the state attorney. What is the offer to resolve this case?
I sent it to your partner last week.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
She said she sent it to your partner last week.
Oh, okay, I'll check with him when I get to my office this afternoon. Your Honor, I'm requesting a defense continuance so I can convey that plea offer to my client in hopes that we can resolve this case in our client's absentia.
With a waiver?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Karimi, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
So I can grant the continuance to another pretrial conference docket. That would be March 29th. But I want you to just to know, and FYI, we don't take pleas on the pretrial conference docket. So even if he accepts and you got your paperwork in on time, it would then be continued or sent off from there to another plea date. If you don't want to wait, and your client, I understand, may be anxious to resolve it, I could go from today and set it on a plea docket for March 10th. I know that that gives you less time, but if you're able to resolve it with if you get your paperwork in on time, then it'll be resolved. I can accept the plea on the 10th. Or you can, if you don't, you can tell me you need more time. We can roll it. It's up to you.
Yeah. Let's move it to the March 10th. The plea offers a withhold of adjudication.
Ms. Creamy?
Withhold $100 fine at all costs or diversion.
Withhold 100 plus
Yeah.
costs. 90 days.
I definitely think we can resolve it on the 10th, Your Honor.
So do you think you can get your paperwork in by then?
I will work my best.
Okay, and if not, just let me know. And if we need another date, that makes more sense than going to the 29th and not being able to take the plea.
Yes, Yes.
All right, so Ramos Morales, 20 CT 2561 is set on that plea docket March 10th at 10 o'clock in the morning. Again, that's a 10 o'clock docket, and counsel, you can just appear telephonically as well. All I will need you to do is stipulate the venue and the factual basis, and then I'll be able to accept the plea based on the plea and abstention paperwork, okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll talk then, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Mr. McElrath, followed by Mr. McGann. This is Rooms 20 MM 1595.
Good morning, David McElrath's office. This is Mary. How may I help you?
Good morning, Mary. This is Judge Crown calling for Mr. McElrath.
Certainly. One moment, please.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, this is Dave McElrath.
Mr. McElrath, good morning. How are you today?
I'm very good, Your Honor, thank you.
Good. We have Miss Karimi on the phone for the state. Your client is Michael Strauss.
That's correct, and Mr. Strauss is with me in my office. I stopped by. I spoke briefly. Miss Craney, can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you.
Your Honor, we spoke briefly at the end of last week, and he had conveyed basically we're discussing resolving the case, and we're just beginning into that. He had taken some depositions. They have not ordered the transcripts yet. I don't know what the court's schedule is. I think we might be able to have some fruitful settlement discussions, and as far as my situation is, I have one witness that is over in Broward County, and the other witness I have listed as a small businessman here, and it's hard for him to take off any work without a little advance notice, because he deals with clients and homeowners. So I don't know what Ms. Karimi wants to do. She wants to try to resolve it, to continue it, set it for a date certain, or whatever. We're very flexible, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I'll give you your options, and I understand Mr. Strauss is with you there, so you can confer with him.
Yes.
I can set this for a plea on March 8th at 10 o'clock if you think there's a chance of resolution, or I can continue this to another pretrial conference docket, which would be the same as today. It would be on March 29th, and that would be for a status. You can give me a status, or we can set it for trial on March 29th at 1:30 if you'd rather go to a trial docket.
Your Honor, I think if we set that on the 329 pretrial conference, if we're able to resolve it, could we then get in touch with your JA about setting a plea?
Yes.
Okay, that works for me.
As long as your client knows and you understand that I cannot accept a plea on that March 29th pretrial.
Oh, yeah, I fully understood, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so the request is 329 at 10 o'clock. Ms. Karimi, any objection to that? All right, so ordered. That's the next court date. Mr. McElrath, also, just as an FYI, if you're able to work this out with Ms. Karimi and you want to add him to a plea docket before that date, then that's also a possibility. Just contact Andrea in my office, okay?
Okay, Your Honor, come to my attention on 329 at 10 a.m. I have a deposition scheduled on a case. However, being that everything's virtual, I think I'll be able to take your call without any problem.
Okay, so we'll leave it 329, 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. All right, calling Mr. McGann, followed by Mr. Morales. And this is Rodriguez Torres, 20 CT 2601.
Yeah, the other one under Desiree.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Alder Jimenez.
This is Andrew.
Mr. McGann, Rob Crown here. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
We've got Ms. Karimi on the phone as well. You've got two cases with us, beginning with Alder Jimenez, 20 CT 1972.
Your Honor, I did provide a copy of a valid driver's license to Ms. Karimi on Friday.
At this time, Your Honor, state out that the null process 2018
All right. Your next case, Mr. McGann, is Rodel Rodriguez Torres, 20 CT 2601.
Your Honor, we'd ask for one more continuance with the waiver of speedy trial for me to try to provide proof of the registration to Ms. Karimi if he's able to.
All right, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Rodriguez Torres, continued to March 29th, 10 o'clock. Thank you, Mr. McGann. Oh,
Sorry, there's one more.
one more. We did that. That was the null pros, wasn't it?
No, there's Honorario de Jesus, 20 CT 2329.
I don't have that. Is it possibly?
Oh, you know, I signed up for diversion. I'm sorry.
All right, Mr. McGann, do you believe that's it for you?
Yes, sir. The other individual did sign up on Friday. I went with them.
Okay, very good. All right, thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye. All
Sorry,
right,
I had an old docket.
that's okay. Calling Mr. Morales, followed by Attorney Paz.
They're in the same office,
Okay,
in Alex Hanna's office.
okay. Alex Hanna, analog.
Thank you for calling Alex Hanna Law. Gracias por llamar Alex Hanna Law. For English, press 1. Para
Please listen to our options as our menu has changed. If you are a new or existing client, press 1. All others, press 2. Please select the department you wish to be connected with. For the personal injury department, press 1. Criminal department, press 2. Thank you for calling the law offices of Alexandra. My name is Victoria. How can I help you?
Hi, Victoria. Is Simon Morales there, please?
May I ask who's calling?
Judge Crown?
Judge Hound?
Crown in Naples. Crown, C-R-O-W-N.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna put you on a brief hold, okay?
Okay.
Morales will be able to help you out. Thank you.
Mr. Morales.
Morning.
All right, good
Yes,
morning.
good morning. Good morning, Judge.
I'm all right. How are you today?
Good, good.
We have Ms. Karimi on the phone for the state. Are you covering the case for Mr. Paz?
Yes, Judge. I will cover. I believe we have 2 cases separate today.
Okay, good. So the first one is Edwin Garcia Villalobos.
Yes, Judge. On this case, our client will be accepting the offer conveyed by the state. We're just requesting a continuance so we can get the fingerprints over to the court.
So I have a plea docket. The latest plea docket I've got right now is March 10th. Do you think you can get the paperwork in by then?
I believe so, Judge.
We can try, and if I get you on the phone, you don't have to appear. I would call you. If you don't have it in, then I can always roll it.
Okay, perfect.
But we might as well try, right?
Of course, Judge.
All right, Ms. Creamy, any objection to that?
Your Honor.
So Garcia Villalobos, 20 CT 2297 is set for a plea in absentia March 10th at 10 o'clock. And your next case is Jean Machiavello Benoit, 21 CT 93.
Yeah, Judge. I believe it's been set for a pretrial. If we can just request a continuance, Judge, my client does have an appointment with the Department of Motor Vehicles in Washington, D.C., where he resides, set for March 8th.
All right, with a waiver?
Yes, Judge.
Any objection?
Your Honor.
All right, so this case, Machiavello, is continued to pretrial March 29th at 10 o'clock. And I believe that's it. Thank you, Mr. Morales.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, State. I appreciate it.
All right, have a good day.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'm calling Attorney Schwartz. And this is in Figueroa Chavez, 21 CT 82.
Schwartz Associates.
Hello, is Mr. Schwartz there, please?
Okay, one moment. I think he's in a hearing. Give me 1 second to check.
Okay. Pardon me?
I think this attorney has 2 cases.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, yes, I'm sorry. He's in the middle of a homicide case. He's taking a plea right now. He'll be done in about 10 minutes. So you could call back then.
Well, I'm probably going to be done with my docket then. Does he want me to continue his 2 cases?
Then yeah, let's go ahead and continue then.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not completely sure. It's just he's in the middle of a homicide hearing.
Okay, I understand. No problem. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Creamy, how do you feel about that?
That's fine, Judge. I emailed him the offer, and his response was, how do I send my clients up for diversion? So
Oh,
I think that was going to happen anyway.
yeah, if he wants diversion. So we've got 2 cases with Mr. Schwartz. Figueroa Chavez, 21 CT 82 is continued to 329 at 10 o'clock. And Chavez Velasquez, 21 CT 90, also continued to 329 at 10 o'clock. Calling Mr. Verderamo, followed by Mr. Vitale. Oh, you need Mr. Stewart?
Yeah.
Why don't we do Mr. Vitale first, and then we'll end with Mr. Verderamo.
Okay. I'll try to track him down.
So this is Mr. Vitale on Schulman, 20 CT 2445.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Vitale. How are you today?
Hi, how are you, sir?
I am fine, thank you. You have Greta Schulman.
Yes, sir.
What would you like to do?
Judge, Ms. Schulman is attempting to get her driver's license back. She had an old failure to submit to testing, so she had to do DUI. So the case was later dropped, so I don't think she realized she had to do that. That's why she's in this situation. But I think it would improve the offer from the state if she were to get her driver's license back. She's got to do DUI. So I will request a continuance for the waiver.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Schulman is continued to non-jury trial, pre-trial, March 29th at 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vitale. Have a great day.
You too, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Judge, and I can call Mr. Stewart now.
All right, thank you, and I'll call Mr. Verderamo. On Patricia Fay.
All right, Judge, she's on the line.
Good morning, Mr. Stewart.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, Emily. This is Rob Crown. How are you today?
Doing fine. How are you, Judge?
I am fine, thank you. Is either one available?
Yes, let me see which one other one.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Morning, Judge. Adam Carney here.
Good morning, Mr. Carney. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. We have Mr. Stewart on the telephone for the state. Your client is Patricia Fay.
Judge, we're asking for continuance on this one. I know records is getting quite old. There's an order determining total incapacity and a guardianship here in Collier, so we're just not really quite sure what to do with it.
With a waiver?
With a waiver.
State?
No objection, Judge.
All right, Patricia Fay continued to 3:29 at 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Judge.
All right,
Have a
thank
great
you,
day.
Mr. Carney. You as well. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you, Mr. Stewart. I believe that completes our docket. Anything further to come before the court?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Actually, I'll see you or talk to you at 1:30.
Yes.
Do you call me at 1:30 or answer you? I'm not sure.
Are we expecting this gentleman in the courtroom in person?
Yes, I think so. We would be set for a trial.
So, Tommy,
Yes.
how do you feel about, are you comfortable coming to court?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm just wondering if he does show up, he may want to enter a plea.
Okay, I'll come down to the court.
As long as that's within your comfort level.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great. So I'll see you at 1:30 and Miss Creamy will call you on the phone, okay?
Okay, Judge, and I let Mr. Brasher know that his other client that got rolled to this case.
Perfect. Yeah, and if he shows up at 1:30, we can tell him then as well. So, very good. Thank you all. We're adjourned for this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.